So present state or set of energy patterns, if that is our dependency, if we are depending on that, and anything changes in that, we will feel disturbed. No, which kind of in a human life is like normal, but in the inner discovery, it is not normal. We may experience disturbance if we are living in the purity of our being, but not that we will be disturbed. Namaste, everyone. Very happy to see all of you online and in person. Some are actually coming first time here in Pune. No? Thank you. I remember there are mm, some games which some scientists have created, which are to be played through our, how to say, wavelength or vibrations created by our brain. So some apparatus is connected to our brain, and the more calm and peaceful our brain is, the more we can win that game. The more noisy, the we will lose. No, they have this kind of game. I feel that this game of life is also very similar to that. Because either we shut down our mind, or when we use it, it is chaotic, like very noisy and like a imbalanced state. No. And I don't think we have an option to not use our mind, because maybe the definition of the mind could be different also. Because any and every desire is the first time when mind is born. No? Any and every desire, including the desire for soul, desire for awakening. No? That is the first time when mind is activated. No? Mind means division. The life is one, happening in silence and in harmony. Then a division happens of I and rest, no? Myself and rest of life. That is the first time when the mind was born actually. No? Not that mind was born, the thinker was born first time, no? Like this. So we cannot avoid thinking really for quite long time until we come to the non-dual nature of our being and merge completely into the perfection of life. No? But we can use mind in too many different ways also, like different state of the thinker. No? The state of mind is not a state of mind as such, even if it is in the moment. The thinker is responsible for the state of thinking device called mind. No? When the thinker becomes peaceful, the thinking device start becoming peaceful also. No? Naturally. Because the origin of all of our kosh, the mind in this case, is the same. No? The source of mind is same as the source of what we call myself, presence. No? It is just that it is not balanced, or it is not living in its in natural harmony, So when the thinker that we are is living in a falsity of its own self, living as the false self means the self that we are is not living its truth. No, that's what is living as the false self. No, when the self that we are is living in a falsity towards itself, then it uses the mind for that purpose to create more falsity. No? Just sharing something, just like a listen to it like a song of the heart. No, and when the self has created the falsity through the mind, why would it not believe it, and why would it not be attached to it? Because it's my thought, it's my conclusion, it's my understanding. Can any one of you check right now how you and your understanding is mixed or one? Can you check right now? You will understand what I'm saying. Most subtle thing. Can you check your conclusion about anything and you, how you are mixed? Like, are you one, like forever one? Are you carrying something? Are you keeping something alive in you? The conclusion. How exactly a conclusion is living in you? How you are holding it? How you are maintaining it? If you can explore, you will know what I am talking about. No? When we know ourselves, it is said that life is, life flows from inside to outside. I feel that life always flows from inside to outside, regardless of whether we are in ego state or not, or whether we are in true state or not. True state, ego state, life is still flowing from inside to outside only. So what we are trying to solve at the level of mind and feelings, the root of that is inside actually. Deeper than that, in the soul, who, for some reason, finding it useful, finding it joyful to live that kind of feelings or thoughts. So I just shared like this. If any one of you want to talk to me, you are very welcome to talk. Nishant, you want to talk?
Namaste, beloved.
Namaste.
I would like to explore this a little bit further. If it happens to be in a slightly different direction, then please indicate and we can stop immediately. Yeah. So I could relate to when we are saying that how, let's say, closely connected we are with our thoughts, and we identify so much with it. Yeah. Yeah. So I noticed something else, maybe not directly connected to the statement also, that when we are just sitting around, for example, when we are sitting around, just sitting normally somewhere,
Hmm.
not meditating, just sitting, we often get pulled by different things inside us, different thoughts inside us. Yeah.
Hmm.
So while observing that, I noticed that it need not be that way. Like there is actually something deeper than that, which holds all of these potential, which can pull us. Yeah. And if you
Yes.
can connect to that, that is a silent place, really, Um, and it feels we can respond to life from there, not necessarily to the thinking or feeling process. So this is why I wanted to, if it's slightly different topic from what you were on.
No, actually, as far as the topic is truth, it is same topic, no? So it's very good. It's same exact same topic, I feel.
Great, great, yeah. So it was more of a validation if this observation was correct.
It is correct. We are just not aware enough. Like let's say, being aware has different possibilities. Mostly, we are superficially aware, no, and we can be more deeply aware also. Meaning, we are aware of the things that we experience or see. We are not aware of the place from where we experience them. You know, as we start becoming aware of the place from where we experience them or see them, then this is more deep being aware more deeply in a way where we find these things. That my attention turns towards a certain thought inside me, which is happening inside me, or a event happening outside me is not really because that event or that thought inside me has some glue independently. No, but there is something deeper inside me which is like waiting, which is like having a desire to experience life in that zone or in that area of life that I get attracted towards it. No? That's why if we can sit quietly and come in the silence of our own being, which is pure state of our being, where we don't have anything mixed in it. And that's why we cannot have any impulses also, any attractions towards any thought or feeling also. No. Now any thought comes, any feeling comes, any event of life happening also outside cannot cannot move our attention now. No. Because our attention is not independently moving. It is moving in service to what we want as the soul. No? When we the soul does not want anything, our attention also will rest in the place from where it comes out. No? This is what is just sitting meditation also, no? Fundamental meditation. No? Where we get to know that hey, it's like it's very good that I'm just enjoying myself and there are no impulses. No. This is where our eyes open first time towards who we are, because we are continuously busy or spending our energy and life in impulses, no, like attending things. No, that is what is caught up in the mind or ego state. No, here we come to our true state first. That I can just be without doing anything. Then somehow our eyes open up, means our wisdom opens up. That what is going on? Why I am attending thoughts and feelings? Then we wake up more. Like, that makes no sense to me. Like I should be creating thoughts, not attending thoughts. No, like I should not be attending second-hand thoughts. I should be more creating my fresh first-hand thoughts. No, if necessary. So like this, we are living a very still life in a way, like a dead life in a way. No? In terms of what we experience as emotions, also old others' emotion or things like you know what I mean. So I hope that this is still we are on the same track.
Very much.
Okay. Yeah. Say anything else because that's all I could say. No.
It's quite relatable when you mention, this is the just following our impulses is kind of like a second-hand thought process happening. There is something happening, we quickly follow behind it. Yeah. There is potential for original thought. Like we decide whether this needs to be attended. And how it is being attended also, I think we have more flexibility to decide now. Okay, it's not that automatically conditioning, we will start reacting how we are used to
Yeah,
reacting. Yeah.
yeah. One very interesting, one very interesting thing we were talking, no? I think sometime recently, no, that I noticed that there are habits inside me, no. I noticed, like somebody said like this recently in the team, that I feel there are habits. I said that just check that you, the soul, does not have habit of habits, no. All the body, mind, thoughts, all their 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 movement, what we are calling habit, is nothing but a energy pattern. It can be as refined as possible. Any energy patterns of body mind energies can be refined to the maximum possibility, where it will give you the maximum and it will take minimum. And right now maybe it is not in its optimal state, but do you, the soul, depend on it? That's what is taking yourself as body and mind, you know. So present state or set of energy patterns, if that is our dependency, if we are depending on that, and anything changes in that, we will feel disturbed, you know. Which kind of in the human life is like normal, but in the inner discovery, it is not normal. We may experience disturbance if we are living in the purity of our being, but not that we will be disturbed. We will not lose that purity and perfection of our being just because the energy patterns have been disturbed by events of life or anything, inside or outside, no? So we don't only have habits, we are habitual of habits. The soul is habitual of habits, and that is where what I said, flexibility, no? A inner flexibility, if can be understood, and we can go for it. Like we all are we not working in the direction in some way to reduce the number of energy patterns inside us, like conditioned energy patterns, so that I can be less conditioned, I can be more conscious? Are we not trying like this? No. So that less conscious meaning more conscious, meaning I will wake up more, or I will have a higher chance to wake up. In a way it is true, but in a way not. I ask you something. If all of a sudden right now all of your energy patterns disappear, how will you be? Like you have no energy pattern at all right now. Like a newborn baby, fully conscious, but no fixed way of looking at anything, or no fixed direction to go anywhere. You don't even know how to deal with your thirst or hunger. How will you be? That's what is awakened state of a being. No? So these energy patterns are not all harmful. They are helping so much maintaining the body. Like they know, they have a history of this body mind. They know that when it is good to eat, no, when not to put hands in something which is burning, because otherwise it will burn my hands. No, many things like this. But are we one with this collection of energy patterns or not? That much we are free from it, or one with it? One with it in the sense of not really one, but in the sense of identified. Try to understand identification also. No, identification is not something like mostly we kind of don't understand, I feel, and it is worth living again and again also, so that something can be seen by us. No, identification is that so many beings have told us that is it not true that you are? That your statement that I exist, that I am, is it not true? Yes, it is true. Would you give value to this right now? And we are not able to. Why? Why we are not able to give value to this simple truth that I am, that I exist? Value is like, let's say, value is our attention. Okay, so why our attention is not coming on it? Why our attention is not coming on it? Meaning it is coming somewhere else. Where it is going is to the state of body mind. It is going there. That I want to change something there. I want to improve something there in this satsang. Through this satsang, I want to improve my state of body mind. That's where it is going. No? That path of awakening it takes long time when we improve the state of consciousness slowly. No? So this is what is identification. You who exists, I am, is truth always. Always. No. Right now also obviously. But not giving value to yourself. This is identification. No. Are you guys able to connect to what I'm saying? That's why I would like to talk about you and me, to you basically more, and you would like to talk about your state and your confusions and questions. No? Generally speaking, not everyone, but like what happened, what is happening, and what will happen is more important for us than who I am right now, and always. No? Why it is like this? Because of identification. I hope you understand this identification. You know, this thing called identification. Identification has not converted the soul into a time bound soul, but the timeless soul is not living as timeless because of this identification. It is not living its own truth, beauty, bliss, and wisdom, and it is not living the, the time bound beauty from there also. Time bound beauty is so beautiful. That duality is some amazing divine play of life. The same duality we can rejoice, we can live happily. We are suffering from it. Suffering is not in the nature of dualistic life. It is the way, the being that we are approaching it and encountering it. No? If we approach the life from the place of being and joyfulness, blissfulness, then that same dualistic life will produce more happiness. Will become like a place where we will express our joy and beauty of our truth. No, like this. So I think we are good then. No?
Yeah, you're very good, Bill. Okay, but can I ask a couple of things more, please?
Sure. Nobody else is asking. Anybody, if you want to ask, raise your hand here also and there also, so that I know that there are other people in the pipeline. No? Like this.
Yeah. So, couple of things, Bill.
Yeah,
One
you can
in the
tell something.
sorry, go ahead.
No, you can tell me one thing at a time, then we see. Because now there is somebody online also who want to
Yes,
talk to you.
yes, yes, yes. So one is in the direction of identification, and one is in the other direction. Yeah. So in the direction of identification, you mentioned we why are we not able to sustain this realization of who I am? I think you mentioned something like that. Yeah. It seems that it's because we connect the attention goes to this thought of who I am and not resting within who I am. We are unable to. Is that
True, it is.
right?
Yeah. It is because of identification. No? Because thought is what is protecting the body. Thought is not protecting the self. Thought is a security system for the body, not for the self. No?
So in some ways, we are relating to the proxy of who I am rather than the true version of who I
Yeah,
am. Yeah.
yes, totally. Because who is thinking, who is having this thought about myself, I am, this who the thinker is real I am, is the real self. No? The thinker is always real self. What it thinks about, how much it gives value to it. When the thinker gives value to itself, this is called a no mind state, no? Sat Chit Anand. No? Perfect, complete in itself. Nothing is missing, and there is no need to think also. So thinking is a need of the thinker, not really the subjects. It's not a need of those subjects which we think are important to be attended today. No? When the thinker wants to think, it will find some thought, some subject to think about. No? There was two lines of a poetry. No, मुझको तेरी गली में सुबह से रात करनी, कभी इससे बात करनी, कभी उससे बात करनी. No, I have to spend whole day. No, since morning till night I have to spend in your lane. No, it is a beautiful Sufi poem, I think. In the lane of the beloved, sometime talking to this guy, sometime talking to that guy. But you can take a hint from it also. No? We can take a hint from it or no? How much talking is necessary? When I say talking, I mean thinking. How much thinking is necessary? And when we think, are we able to see our thinking? Surprisingly, no. We are thinking, then we cannot see our thinking. Then what thinking we see, which is inside us? Whose thinking is that? So very good, thank you. It's a good. Uh,
Okay. Can I ask the next thing also?
yeah, let us
Okay.
complete.
Yeah, thank you. You mentioned that if we somehow lose all the energy patterns within us, we will be like a newborn baby, yeah?
Yeah.
But yet there seems that we will still have some wisdom which the baby may not have. Is that correct?
We have that wisdom today also, actually. Actually, today we have a very amazing opportunity to have wisdom of both, wisdom of the being and wisdom of mind. And this is where we have a comparison possible and a clarity possible that which is better and which is producing what. That time we will have the wisdom of the soul, of the being, and then we may fall in the trap of the mind wisdom again. No? But we will not have some wisdom, we will have all the wisdom. Because wisdom of the mind is not wisdom in the mind, it is wisdom in the user of the mind. We are the user of the mind. No, there is no IQ. I mean, it's a strange thing I always used to say, even now, that there is no IQ in the mind. IQ is in the thinker, the user of mind. No? That is the being that we are. No? So yes, we will have all the wisdom, not some wisdom, all the wisdom. But we will not have experiences which are in the mind. And we may or may not have. That is a thing which kind of defines in a way that are we awake or we are not, like pre-awakening or post-awakening. No? That could be the difference, that you, the being, in your wisdom also have tasted the way of the mind and have become free from it. Then you will carry some experience of it in a way, like a understanding. That will keep you free also now. So if it has happened like this, then yes. That's why all of a sudden, if all of the mind disappears, it's not really, you know, what we think awakening is. For the soul has to, for the soul to receive the wisdom, clarity that what actually mind is and what my wisdom is and who I am and in my nature, in my truth, and who I am when I'm living in the mind, that has to be seen in one light somehow, even for a few seconds. This seems to be the need of awakening. No? And we are trying to choose continuously either this or this or this. No? Like many beings are who are not in the direction of awakening consciously, they are taking the mind's wisdom to be their own wisdom and not questioning it so much. No? And some being in the direction of awakening, just taking the wisdom of the being only, that's all. And they are hating or against the wisdom of mind. And that creates confusion inside us, as if there is a reality of mind. There is no reality of mind. The reality of mind is the thinker of mind, no? If you are not thinking, there is no mind. All that which is happening inside our body and mind is our dance. We are the dancer of it. And we are saying, my dance has gone out of control. I don't think so. Then we don't understand who we are. Then know first who you are. So we are good then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can talk to Manan also now, no? Just a moment. Yeah, Manan, you can talk.
नमस्ते जी।
Namaste.
मैं हिंदी में बात कर सकता हूँ क्योंकि मैं इंग्लिश फ्लुएंटली नहीं बोल पाता।
Okay,
So
then
if
say
you are
few things only, like a essence of it, because I will have to translate it in English.
okay. मेरा ऐसा एज सच कोई सवाल नहीं है, बट मेरा माइंड बहुत ज्यादा किक इन कर रहा था और ऐसा डर सा पैदा कर रहा था कि मतलब मैं बात करूं या नहीं करूं, तो डर सा पैदा हो रहा था मेरे अंदर। और जैसे ही आई चोज टू जस्ट रेज माई हैंड एंड मैं चाह रहा था कि मैं बात कर ही लूं, मतलब मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा था कि या दैट्स इट मैन।
Oh. So what you are saying is that there was a lot of noise my mind was creating, uh, and sense of a fear that talk or not talk. So I thought better I talk. So that's the only thing. I don't have a question or anything like this. Yeah, very good. So your purpose has been already served, by the way. We don't have to talk at all now. We have seen beings, no? We have maybe ourselves been like that. Those beings where we work in some job, like we have such a job where we don't get enough sleep, no? Or we are traveling, like traveling salesman or something, no? Continuously, and that kind of becomes our lifestyle. Body adjusts, mind adjusts accordingly, food, everything, around that. But that does not mean that that is the healthy way of living. Our body and our soul is so flexible, it can adjust so many things. But in that state of unhealthy state of body mind, we are getting so minimum from life. So what happens there is that we are just moving from one task to another in a way, not getting any break from the task or doing at all. However, in the natural state, even in villages, even people who don't know these things consciously, they always take a break. Like they catch up a break, like they kind of come to stand still somehow in the peacefulness. And then from there they will go to next task. No? But we don't mostly do like this. We are continuously moving from one task to another, to another, to another. Never going deep enough in our being to be refreshed somehow. Like many things are undone if we come to the silence of our being before any major activity or any like this. Refreshed in the sense that as if system is rebooted, the old files or cache files are removed. No? They are clogging the system, making it slower, and also mixing also. Lot of mixing. This mixing part is where we don't have a clarity of seeing, decision making, and everything, and purity of being also. No? Purity of being, like all of that is possible by such simple approach, what I call just sitting meditation. Every day it has to be done, regardless of what. No, this what is that other model. No, so only when it is understood that I have to break the pattern. Pattern in this case is not the flow of energy in the body mind. Pattern is flowing with it continuously. That is the pattern of the soul. No, and some seekers of truth, they break that pattern. They don't flow with the energy, and then they just don't flow at all. You know, that's another mistake in a way. Because if we have come to the natural state of our being, then flowing or not flowing does not apply to us. It is same, flowing or not flowing, same thing. Meaning it does not flowing does not give us more clarity towards who we are. Flowing does not mm, take away that clarity of who we are also. No? So it makes no difference. But when we are not clear about who we are, then taking a break is very important. Then flowing also afterward. So that like every activity, one another way of saying is that every, like, try to understand the sense of doer. Let us try to understand what is sense of doer. What exactly is the sense of doer in the light of the being that we are? No, we are the being, not a doer. No, so there is a doing that happens in the moment, and the doing always needs a center from where it can originate, like can be pushed. No, doing means a movement in life. Movement requires a push, no, like this. For that, a center is required and created. For every doing, a doer is created. That is a sense only in the being somewhere. And as soon as the effect of the doing is going away from the space of being, the sense of doer is also going away. But just imagine that we are moving from one task to another continuously, like no gap between the two tasks. What will happen? The sense of doer will become our natural state of being. No? Hey, I'm a doer. Meaning we will feel that I'm a doer, not that we will just say only. I feel it actually. What are you talking about, Raji, that you are not a doer? I feel I am a doer. But stop for some time. Just sit and do nothing else. You will become clear that you are not a doer. You are, but not a doer. I am, but not a doer. And it will also become clear to us what doing is exactly in relation to being. It will become actually clear to us. Not that we have to think or ask anybody, no? Because you will be doing something, no? And then you will know how exactly I'm doing anything. While actually I'm not the doer that I thought I am. So that confusion, that continuous sense of doer also hosts this thing called identification very quickly. Like I am this one. I am not this one who is knowing it, no? And just sitting quietly actually solves so many of these things. We naturally come to the clarity of what is what. But the problem with this sense of doer, when we are too much caught up in it, we are like in a very impulsive state. That just sitting looks like, oh my God, I'm going to miss the whole life and like all the opportunities. In that kind of state, contemplation helps him a lot. Observing, being like thinking more wisely, you know, like a overview. Like those people who are moving from one impulse to another, from one doing to another, what they have achieved, checking very carefully and very honestly. Do I want that? They have maybe achieved a lot in terms of success, and they are so restless. They have lost almost like a ability to live life now. Do I want that? You will feel maybe no. You will feel no. I don't want that. I want to live life and have enough for resources also. Then a different model will be required. No, like we can like contemplation can help. That's what I'm saying. In which direction it goes, how we use it is entirely up to us. No, so contemplation is not some spiritual activity. It is the activity of the soul that we are. Like stopping and like we can stop and do nothing. That is meditation. No? And if we are not able to stop and do nothing, then stop and think. But still stop and think, not thinking in the flow. So stopping the flow of thinking and while still thinking, that is contemplation. No. Now not thinking about the subjects that we have at hand, but more thinking about why I'm thinking about these subjects. Is it worth thinking about it right now? Is it worth doing what I'm doing right now? Like that overview, using the thinking as for overviewing our life. That is contemplation in one sense, no? And not going in any subject too much, like remaining like this. No? The rule of contemplation in my books was that always keep one foot on the ground of present moment. That okay, I am actually contemplating, not I am thinking about something. Because thinking is very, how to say, addictive in a way. We get into things too much. Memories come and this and that. So being very careful about it also. So thank you. Very nice talking to you. You don't want to talk to me? But still, it will nice to talk to me, no? Like talk to each other, no?
I don't have any question. I just wanted to feel the presence.
Huh?
Presence feel करना था. कोई question नहीं है. Just
So are you don't have any question? You are saying, I just wanted to feel presence. Presence means what? Like whose presence?
my
Presence,
pre-
is it like whose presence is applicable here or just the presence, meaning the presence of truth maybe? I don't know. So can you say a little more?
presence means like before coming I was thinking of your being in your presence, but after coming here I feel uh, everything present.
Oh. You will become more clear when you will go out of it, no? So don't be in a hurry. Don't conclude so fast. But I understand what you mean. So you wanted to be in the presence. You are in the presence now.
Initially I was not, but then after some time I'm here.
Oh. Would you like to live with me more deeply or more clearly? This being here.
Sorry.
Would you like to live more clearly and more deeply? This being here.
Yes.
Because this is something not like a question or confusion, but it is more like a joy. No. It's not something we are trying to fix, but more something we are trying to live more deeply, but which is already beautiful. No? Yeah. So then you can, yeah. In the beginning, in the beginning, being here is like effort, which is maybe not so much of a active effort in that sense, but in the sense of intention is required. Very strong intention is required for being here, meaning unhooking ourselves from everything that we do, no? That we are usually doing continuously, thinking. No?
Actually,
Allow me just to finish this, then we talk again. So in the beginning, it is like a effort, but more actually, it is the power of our intention towards it that we will succeed being here. No? Actually, why I am sharing with all of you right now, it is an invitation to all of you to live with me, no, this truth. But live as I share. No? Let's not go one step ahead, and let's not remain one step behind also. Okay? So now give up whatever you said. Now let's actually live being here. No? It's an invitation. It's a possibility of being here right now. So being here is a thought in the beginning that I want to be here because I feel that it is good for me to be here. No? And if we persist onto that thought, somehow we will go deeper than the thought. That is feeling, no? Feeling bhav, no? Bhav. Vichar se bhav, no? From thought to deeper feeling. No? Now, not that we are thinking right now that I am here, but we are feeling also that I am here. No. So now come, I invite all of you, come now, not only the thinking, but now feeling that I am here. So feeling this truth that I am here. No? From thought to feeling, विचार से भाव की तरफ. No? If it helps you closing your eyes, also very good. You can close your eyes also. No? Whenever anything feels like you are losing the purity and clarity of this feeling that I'm here, then you can again focus on the thought that I'm here, because other thoughts are able to pull your attention. It means, so bring your attention back to the one thought, I am here, and then it will bring you back to the feeling, the bhav, I am here. Keep your focus or value onto this feeling. No, I am here as much as possible, because our habit to attend the thoughts, other thoughts, or other feelings will still be there inside. Be alert about it, and uh, try not to attend any other thought or feeling. Because when we are attending this feeling I am here, we are actually attending the feeling I am. We are attending our own existence also. We are tasting, we are experiencing our own existence also in this I am here. But at the level of bhav, at the level of feeling, we are experiencing our existence. It is so joyful to experience our existence. It is not going to produce any knowledge yet. But it is as if it is like taking a bath in our own purity. No, it's like this. Like before entering into the temple of God within ourselves, it's like taking a bath, no, in between, removing the dust of the journey, no, of the soul. And like this, coming to the original state of being. Now where we are, if you if you if you listen a little bit what I'm sharing, it will be amazing to discover that I am here and I am is exactly the same thing. There is no difference between I am here and I am. The statement or the thought that I am here is a declaration that I am here, meaning I am attending the thought, that thought called here, or thought called I am here. When we are attending this feeling I am here, we are saying that I am attending only this feeling I am here and nothing else, no other feelings at the level of feeling. And through that we have come to the truth of who we are. I am. Here there is no difference between I am here or I am. Let us also taste more deeply this truth. Let us more deeply discover this truth. I am. Here there are no thoughts or feelings. We have already transcended them or gone beyond them into this truth I am. Now we are living this truth I am more deeply. And there is no need to remove the thoughts or feelings. That field of thoughts and feelings and body is still here. It's just that we are not looking at it or giving value to it. In this truth of I am, when we are living this truth I am, somehow this wrapper of I amness, uh, like we are going beyond it actually, into the open sky of the being of life, one being of life. Like from this sense of individual soul to a universal being, no, like this. And if any one of you feel lost ever, again start from the basic, no? Come to the thought, I am here, attending the thought, I am here only, and not attending any other thoughts. Then from here, attending the feeling, I am here, and not attending any other feeling. Then from here, attending, I am here, same thing. And then living the truth, I am. So enjoy your being, no? Your truth. Thank you for joining this guiding. And this statement, I am here, no? It's a magic. Yeah. This statement, I am here, is actually magic. When we are not attending this statement, this truth, truly, I am here, a sense of lack is created inside us, like like a shadow, like something out of absence, out of our own absence, something is created, which is the false self and the need of the false self also. And if we attend that, we kind of go out of ourselves into the thinking, or mm, into the way of absence, you know, and not the absence. There's some other word for it. No? Sense of lack. No, we go too much deeply into the word of sense of lack. A life is created out of it, and then we have vitamins for it, and medicines for, like, we have everything for it now there to keep life balanced a little bit. But we will never be free from the sense of lack. Never. Only here, when living this truth, I am here. There is no sense of lack. This is where the fulfillment, fulfillment, you know what I mean? Fulfilled. We feel fulfilled. When we feel fulfilled, we don't really search so much. What we have feels so amazingly uh, beautiful. We are able to enjoy what we have, no? Yeah. Very good. So, Nishant, you want to talk?
Thank you, Eleven. Yeah. can we explore sleep? Yeah, like physical
Sleep.
sleep.
Physical sleep.
Yeah.
Let me feel a little bit. Ah, chai has come. Time to wake up. Thank you. I think it is going to give me a good contrast for the sake of science. It's not anything personal. No, not yet. I need more. Simple. So, what should I say about the physical sleep? Like, can
I
you give
can
me more
start
cue?
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. So while the guiding, I felt the guiding was very helpful, beloved. So while the guiding was going on, and I was resting in myself, I could feel um, sleep coming also. Yeah. But somehow this time I was able to really see the sleep. It was like similar to thought, but somehow felt, I don't know if it's too abstract also, forgive me. Yeah. It felt more viscous, more thick. And in some ways, it is easier to stay as the self in this place rather than in thoughts, because thoughts keeps moving. Yeah. This is like there, and we can feel both. So
How nice. It's very good. Because either we are falling in the sleep, no, in the spiritual context, or we are denying the existence of it, no, like coloring it in some way. You are first time actually able to accept it as it is, no. This is the amazing thing, Nishant, about you, because you are the self, no. Whatever you can simply accept and see as it is, you have become free from it, at least in that moment. That will not affect you anymore now, you know. Like your body may fall even off the chair, but you will not move from your truth. No? This is the power of seeing clearly truth as it is. No? So this is one part of it. I'm very happy, so I just shared my happiness. Thank you. If you want to truly understand what is sleep, then we will have to understand what is consciousness, what is unconsciousness, why there is a consciousness and unconsciousness also. What is the need of unconsciousness in the consciousness? No? We will have to understand all of that actually. Without that, we cannot understand what is sleep or what is the need of sleep also. No? Like why we cannot be like awake 24 hours, like fresh and happy. No? So that's a very um, complex topic, and I would not like to touch it so much in details, but more indirectly, you can say I can share as the in this abstract way. No? In the essence, you can say that consciousness is the desire, the result of the desire of the self to experience. No, consciousness is the desire of the self to experience, and to experience opposites are required. No, there is no way to experience without opposite. No, so consciousness has to have the opposite in order to enable the self to experience. No? So waking up in the morning cannot be enjoyed if there is no sleep before that. So consciousness is like an activity for the self. No, waking state is like an activity for the self. Sleep is resting from that. No, the self itself does not really get tired or does not need rejuvenation. No, so sleep is the resting for the consciousness, not for the self. But at some point, the self get bored that okay, I'm done with this game, and it will reside in its truth only, and will not, you know, flow in this consciousness, unconsciousness, no? The physical body and the other course, as long as the physical body exists, they will still continue following the same nature. No? They will still require resting and everything, no? Unless we do something about it to purify or to correct things. No? Can I also touch here that there is a lot of sleep that we experience in the spiritual context, which is not really the requirement in a way of the consciousness, which is more like an imbalanced state of consciousness, you can say, no? Uh, how to say, like a cow eats a lot of food, no? But it doesn't digest all of it. It just keeps it somewhere, and then it keep chewing it later on and keep digesting it later on, like this. In the same way, consciousness does a lot of things. So there's a lot of backlog to be processed by the consciousness in us all the time. That all comes forward when we are just doing nothing. That okay, this is the time for that. What we call unconscious mind is not really something bad. It is our processing system, no? Which start processing the old as much as it can within that wisdom which we have right now, and that has to pull a lot of energy from us, which creates the sense that I am sleeping. Also, what I found helps a lot more than we imagine right now is the understanding that I am going to depend on body, physical body, only physical body, breath, and myself, my existence. I am, then breath, then body. I'm just going to remain connected to these three things, and I will just not touch anything else during the satsang or meditation that I do. Can save us so much from this sleep that you are talking about. Because that sleep will happen. Unless we do supporting activities and refine our energies, that sleep is going to come. I know the other version of it where we don't feel like sleeping also. So it's not like that sleep happens. Sometimes the opposite also, no sleep also happens, that they are just not able to sleep, which is also creating a lot of stress also in the body mind. Both are not good. A balanced state, no? Like what happens is that in the consciousness there is like a, again I will have to go in details which I don't want to touch, but just to use very simple language, that it is as if in the consciousness there is a like a sense of doing things, but those things have not been done. No. So they have been suppressed somehow. No. The suppressed feeling to do something, no, are there. And they are creating restlessness also inside a lot. When they consume, the body feels like shutting down in a way, as if I'm sleeping right now. No. And unless that is cleared up, this imbalance is going to continue. It's like a lot of, one more way can help a lot, that anything that we have, any time, whenever we inhale, no, we have to exhale also. No? Whenever we consume something, we have to, throw it out also. No? We don't consume the food only, physical food, like food. We consume thoughts also, feelings also, so many things, and they have not been processed. So if we want to live really a healthy life, like no sleep happening when we are meditating, then we will have to work on these things also. Otherwise, they will keep creating confusions. In a neutral way, if we look at it, then our coach and their functioning has no idea whether you are interested in waking up or living just a normal life. No? For them, there is no difference. Like they have nothing to do with it. This is your personal, this is your individual call, and They're just following their own nature of consciousness. And if we can learn the way of consciousness, we can be so much more benefited by it than we think right now. By that wisdom, no? We are unnecessarily fighting with the nature of consciousness and getting hurt also, no? So thank you. I think this is more than enough. I did not want to really talk about it so much. Thank you. Deva, you want to talk?
Namaste, Rajee. Can you hear me? Okay. You just mentioned one thing about if we understand the nature of consciousness. Can you elaborate on that?
No,
Uh,
I will not. Because that's a separate course, and for that you will have to register separately, no?
okay. Thank you, Rajee. All right.
Eh?
For that course.
I will send you the link. Don't click on any link, okay? Because that's how we get. I'm talking about internal, not really physical links, but mind keeps sending us links, no? When we click the link, you can download so much from others, no? Don't click the link. That's what it means. Don't move, no? In the internal, spiritual language, but it means to not move, no? Um, can you give me some cue, because I don't want to touch this topic ever in any meetings like this, because it's a very specific topic and I don't discuss these things in public meetings, to be very honest. So, but I can, since we are talking, I can quickly, in an abstract form, share something, no? So you have to give me some clear guidelines of like what you understood and what you did not, so I can very specifically respond, no? Like this.
Uh, can I say one little thing, which is in relation to the link that you just mentioned about how the link thing works? Incidentally, for the registration for this intensive, I followed the link, but the link didn't get through. So that happens also sometimes. It means I was not able to, the registration did not fall across.
Okay.
So,
Huh.
connection to what you just said
Understand. But
about
actually,
following.
when we are very strong in our decision or intention towards something, then we will try everything else after that also. No? So, like you could write to the team, for example. Just a very simple example. We are very simple that when we went to um, Tiruvannamalai, Guruji for first satsang and me and Prajot, then we one night before we walked all the path, like from here we are going to go there, that time we will reach, and all that, because it's a very new place, so we visited absolutely everything, so that there are no surprises tomorrow morning, because we are not really going there to enjoy Tiruvannamalai, we are going there to attend Guruji's meeting, no? So we wanted to make sure everything is clear, no, like this. So in this way, always we are going to succeed in the direction of truth. We don't know how much support we have actually. We don't know that yet. So maybe let us bring more of ourselves in the intention and then see the power of it. No?
Yeah, Raji.
I'm in this kind of, this is my way of looking at it. That continue until we succeed. Not that try, click the link and then wait that okay, if existence wants, then I will go. If not, then I will not. No. No, either don't click on the link, then existence will click on the link for you, no? If you don't want to do anything, then no. If you click on the link, then go all the way then. Then make sure that it reached also, no? Then go all the way then. Then don't do half-hearted, no? That the good part I will do and the rough part, the difficult part, Lord, you do it for me, no? Not like this. This is called semi-automatic, no? Either be automatic or manual. I always had this kind of clarity. Many times we have this kind of double standards. The difficult part, Lord, can you do it? And there's nothing wrong in that, I would say. But that's not what is going to integrate the being that we are into who we are and enable us to discover clearly. You know what I mean? So my outlook is like this. Let's see. So
Yeah,
I
Rajee,
would not blame the form for it or technology for it or God for it
I
also. Yeah, please.
yeah, I feel this was I failed to follow up on the process further. So it was
Yeah.
yeah, something I was often told that बहुत overconfidence में मारे जाते हो. So I feel that's what happened with me. I was like
Yeah.
confident.
But I think it's a good
Um,
learning also, no? It's a good learning also. Because honestly, I was also surprised why you are not coming. No, I was also like, I thought maybe you have something to do. So when we met, for example, that day you could discuss, no, and that could have solved that problem even. No, there's a very beautiful story we heard from Osho one time that there was a great saint called Swami Ram. Why he was called Swami Ram? Because he used to chant Ram, 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 Ram all the time, and up to the degree that even when he used to sleep, from his body, the sound would come out, Ram, Ram. Like he's not talking now; he's just sleeping, and even sound will come like. So this is the intensity of our intention. We are just hardly deciding anything and using anything. That power of our being. Like we are so divided in things that we are doing, and we can be so much more undivided. I'm saying, and so much more. Like like the difficulty level of doing something is not really direct independent. It is more proportional to our dividedness towards it. The less divided, the easier it is. The not at all divided, not at all difficult. You know, it's actually like this. It's about life also, I feel. It's just my experience. Everybody see if it fits in your thing or not, no? In your life or not. If it is useful for you or not. You see what is useful. So very good. Now, would you like to come back to the topic that you wanted to discuss?
yes, Rajee, you spoke about the nature of consciousness, and in the recent days, as I continue to do the just sitting, which you mentioned, and or the contemplations also. So was I felt like contemplating on the nature of the self. Like when I am just sitting and there is total emptiness, and it often feels that urge to uh, know the nature of the self. So that's how I felt like asking this thing that can one contemplate on the nature? Like, could we also do that?
Yeah, sure. Let us look right now that you sit quietly and you are finding emptiness, like you're feeling emptiness like this. But that was not the topic of contemplation, no. The topic of contemplation was that what is my nature, no? Yes. So keep that contemplation alive in this emptiness now, no? Now again contemplate myself who is experiencing the emptiness, what is my nature? Because it cannot be emptiness because I am experiencing it, no? And that's why it is different from me, no? So even emptiness cannot stop you from exploring your nature now, no? And now focus on yourself, not on emptiness, no? So keep the contemplation alive here then, no? Isn't it? Because, beloved, as long as the need to contemplate is there, contemplation is there, or need to do anything is there, or the sense of doer is there which can do anything, we have not come home yet, even if it feels like emptiness. No? And when we have come home, neither there is somebody left to do anything, nor there is anything left to be done or can be done. Now the emptiness, the contemplator, the contemplation, all of this is absolutely one. Now whatever you do, contemplate, you cannot lose. Don't contemplate, you cannot lose. Through contemplation, you cannot know more now when you have come home. And by not contemplating, you don't miss the opportunity to know and live yourself also. You know what I mean? Both way it is same. If you contemplate, fine. It's like a play. You are playing with yourself, no? Like you want to write your name on wall and read it. Aha, this is my name. But you are the one who wrote your name, no? Or you want to create a photo of you on the wall and then watch it, look at it and appreciate, no? You will be like that. So that this clarity, absolute clarity is there when we come home. Until then, it is necessary to complete the task. So your task is contemplating on myself. So this is how you will contemplate on yourself or not? Or am I understanding something else, like responding to something else?
Rajee, I think saying about this is true, but that the feeling is so light and it is so um, is it what you feel, what you call joy or bliss, or I don't know, but the feeling is as if I want to know more, or I want to feel, or is there more? That's when I felt that I want to contemplate.
So
It's like
in this case, I think
overwhelming.
yes, I understand that. So in this case, when you are have come to this emptiness and feeling joy, no, you are saying feeling joy like this. So in this case, contemplation will be feeling yourself, feeling yourself, no. Even not joy here, not feeling joy, but feeling yourself. If you want to feel this joy of your being more, then feel yourself more, not joy more. This is where we miss. That okay, if I feel this joy more, then I can feel the joy more. Not really. The amount of joy which is present in the system is as much as we could feel for so far. Now, if you want to produce more joy in your system, meaning in your consciousness, you have to connect to yourself more. By connecting to ourselves, the joy or the beauty of the being that we are kind of surfaces in the consciousness and it is experienced by us as joy. No? So that is the strange thing about the joy. If we get too attached to joy, we cannot have so much joy in in the consciousness. And if we focus on the source, then we cannot be so much present as a experiencer in the consciousness. No, because then we will be lost in the beauty of the being that we are, who is the source of the joy. No, do you follow what I'm saying? Because this same joy becomes so quiet as we go deep in our being. Meaning now the joy and the experiencer of joy is one thing now. No? As we go deep in our being. So it's good, no? I think you are clear now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Namaste, Rajee ji. Very happy to be here in your presence.
Same. Very nice to meet you.
I have a specific question. So we speak about this internal spring, no?
Huh?
Internal spring.
Internal spring, oh yes.
So can you speak a bit more about it? Like what is it?
Internal, meaning when the spring comes like this?
Yes,
This is what?
yes.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
you know, now it's like you go inside and suddenly it feels like now it's enough and something just push you outside. So what is
Push
it?
you outside into the old way.
Mm.
Huh. It is almost like this, that there is a lock, you know, on the heart of the being, who we are, and the key is what we call ourself, myself. What we call myself is the key, you know. So this myself goes into the depth of its being, in the silence, and stays there for some time, and then the door opens up. When the key and the lock comes in contact, the door opens up for a moment. And our habit somehow pushes us out, because now it's time to enjoy. Like, why on earth I would desire happiness and joy if I cannot enjoy it in a cafe with friends, and like the way of a person like this. Although practically, or how to say, theoretically, that is true, that we need happiness in practical life because we don't have it there. But the reason we don't have that joy there is not because mm, because of some wrong things or something, but because that we are searching for it in a wrong place, and now we are living in that lack of happiness in the practical life for so long that we feel that I want to fill that gap there. That's why we come out also. No? But as soon as you this connection, this connector is off, the door closes again. The spring actually opens up really forever like this. What I mean spring is that when you totally fix yourself into your heart, into your sense of I am, no, existence, and you never come out of it now. That is the spring. We cannot enjoy this spring as a person, which we try. That's why we come out of it. No? We can enjoy this spring that comes from the being as a being only. But the richness, no, of the feel of the being is so much that it feels like even if nothing is there in life, everything is perfect. No? This is a strange thing. The being does not have any sense of lack. It's very rich. It feels very rich already. Like we say that we are like a king and living like a beggar. It is true, really. No? So this is all I could say about it. But do you feel say more? Then maybe more can can come out.
Yeah, what you say is right. Also, I feel like sometimes, like you pick up the idea that I need to fix certain things, and then I can come in.
Yeah.
But then, if you pick that idea up, there's no timeline when the idea will finish.
Yes. 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 Actually, not only that is false way. Like it's entirely false that I have to fix something before I can come in. It's entirely false. But not only it is entirely false at individual level, but it is supported at a collective level also. Like everybody is supporting it collectively. That yes, I'm also fixing like this. I have fixed these many things and I'm very close now and so on. No, so we are collectively supporting this idea also. Where we are trying to fix things, those things need to be fixed if we want any change there. But this coming home, we don't need to fix anything to come home. We are already the key. We don't need to polish it anymore, any further. That okay, it should be shining, golden key. No, just come home. Just stay. Don't move. That's the key and the lock connected to each other. No, as simple as this. So not moving, don't move is the invitation that you, the key, connect to the lock, which you are also. And then the door opens and here, this you, the key and this, the lock, they lose their individual separateness. A unified way of being emerges that we are. And everything of the body, mind, all the layers are more like instrument we are using. And what's wrong in experiencing anything? You know, but not experiencing as some as a being who has a sense of lack now. No, but more rich. You know. So this is the thing. You are very right that, and it is not that we are not the being at any point of time. We are the same being at any point of time. It's just that I think we have not tried enough outside yet. As we will try enough, then we will get tired. That nothing is. I don't feel that we should not try. Nobody will stop if we tell anybody. I will say that try in a systematic way, like a bulk. Don't try at item level, try at category level. No? Like finish the categories, because even categories are so many which we have to try before we see that that's not the answer. Or it can be a conscious way of doing things also, which is very powerful. Conscious way basically is that you are observing yourself doing also and observing also, so that you take the reading of what exactly I did, why I did, what I thought I will get, and what actually I got out of it. Can open up our eyes like a categorically many categories just fall away. Then I don't think that I'm going to get anything out of it. That's another way of becoming more wise in a way, or like this, no? But every soul actually is doing a very individual journey in a way. No? Nobody else can take any call about it except the soul itself. No? So, is this good enough for now? No?
It doesn't feel complete somehow, but because I'm just trying to see where the gridlock is inside me. So
I can only help you as much as you kind of bring it out. No?
Yeah, it does feel like that there's clarity coming, but sometimes it feels it's not going fast enough, or you know.
One clue I can for sure give you, which it works has worked always, is keep in touch. Which is what it means is that keep in touch with truth. It saves so much time. This kind of in these kind of situations particularly. Don't get disconnected for a long time. No. Just keep in touch. Come to some satsang where you are not being forced to know something particularly or like this. And it will help you still. Like it will keep the thirst alive. It will keep the enthusiasm alive to kind of look deeply and finish things. Because where we live outside of satsang is the place where people are already settled. They have settled mostly for life that okay, nothing more than this I will get in this life. No, like they gave up in a way. Everybody is a soul, by the way. Every individual is a soul, regardless of whether they are spiritual or not. But they kind of gave up somehow at some point. We are living with people, most of the people who gave up already. No? Come to those people who have not given up, and you will become like you will come, like your fire will start aflame again in a way, or something.
One thing is sure, I'm far from giving up.
Eh?
I'm far from giving up.
Giving it up, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If you are far from giving it up, then it is essential for you to be in satsang continuously, because then you are just wasting your time in those things, those confusions which just don't need to be even attended. They will not come in the way if you remain in touch with the fire of truth. They will not even come in the way. Like you will just not feel that they are there anymore. Like you will be so single pointed, like this. So this is my answer.
Just like I fall in this illusion that by running faster in the dream and coming to a point within the dream, then I can awaken. It feels like almost like that.
But it's okay, we all make this kind of mistake. I feel that there are sort of a rounds of awakening that take place. Like I don't see you less awake than before. By the way, obviously, nobody becomes less awake than before. Cannot. It's not possible. No. But now where you are, the ability you have to see things, the consciousness level where you are now, From here you are seeing these things, But my answer is still the same. Meditation and satsang, dhyan and satsang are the things which will help you more. Like trying our own way actually is a very long process. That's what I mean. Trial and error is a very, very long process. Not that you will not reach, but long time. When I say long time, it's a very long time. That's what I mean. So let us expose ourselves into this fire of truth and satsang also. We will get to see ourselves.
You used to mention it's very important to find your own way, but
Yeah.
that is different than this one.
Eh?
But that reference is different than this one.
How different?
I think you spoke about even when we are trying some technique, like it's important to find it to do it in our own way. And
Yeah, that is true. But how it is different
is
than
it different? I'm just asking, like,
ah.
because you said doing in your own way, trial and error is a long process, but this is different thing than that one.
Actually, trial and error is not doing. That's why it takes time to realize that I'm not doing anything and I'm not reaching anywhere. Come to satsang and you actually do. No, that's what it means. So trial and error means not doing anything basically, not reaching anywhere. No progress taking place happening. No, because when you have to complete the whole of the infinity of this sky, moving 1 inch per year is not really counted. No, it is as good as not change, no movement or change. No? So trial and error approach actually is no progress. We are just stuck in the same state of consciousness. So this is one thing. Second thing is coming to satsang and find your own way. Find your own way is essential. Essential, like must for everyone. It's not like for some people only. Because find your own way basically means connect to the root, pulse, or desire of the soul. What exactly I want? No. Unless we connect to that, we are first of all going to be through a lot of struggle unnecessarily. That I follow you, I want to follow you, I want to trust you, and that no. Whereas we will not be able to because that will not be matching with what is the pulse or the desire from the soul. So finding your way basically means finding your depth of your being from where you desire any and everything. That's your way. No, that's your way. That's a lot of a work. This is a lot of work, but it is worth actually. It is worth totally. And your way and my way will match so nicely because anybody who has found their own way and like this freedom, they respect their freedom and they respect others' freedom also. Uniqueness. Our uniqueness is so much respected. Hmm. Like I will be the last person to try to influence you or tell you that don't do things in your own way. No, do everything in your own way, then only you can succeed. I will say like this. But actually do. Don't imagine, don't keep thinking or daydreaming. No? That is not doing really. That's just wasting time. No? So yes, finding our own way is so very important. Because that is the unique way the source of life, one being of life has taken to express itself and to experience life. You know, so I'm not independent. You are not independent from the being of life. Really, it is the being of life as you, which is inspiring you to talk to me, and it is the being of life in me which is inspiring me to speak also. And in this way, I don't see duality and non-duality to be separate from each other. They are more supporting each other. The whole point of what we are discussing is that actually live, actually think if you want to think, actually do something if you want to do. Imagining and thinking, daydreaming is not actual. Because one way or the other, we get influenced in some way. Not that we directly can be influenced, but we are living at the level of thought where influence takes place. So we are living through the influences only. We have not found our own way yet. No, for that we need to be like what we call alone in a way. What is alone? Alone means like not touching any influence of the mind. That okay, let's see what I myself want from life. In natural existential way, a flow comes from within ourselves, which is also, by the way, same thing or similar thing, but what you are calling is spring. Is spring also. That is the same thing actually. Even if it's small, like a sprout, actual sprout, broke the broke the ground of ego and came out into the light of consciousness. Yeah, are you able to connect to what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm very deeply grateful for this pointing and this freedom that I have with you, because I've been in a varied spiritual scenes, and in every place there is like some kind of um, like you're not allowed to be in your own way. And even though every place I went I got benefited, but at a certain point you feel like I cannot grow beyond this with this
Yes.
place,
Oh yes.
because your own instincts are not allowed somehow. And I always felt it's very is essential. And so with you I got very very relaxed in myself, which that kind of relaxedness I never felt anywhere else. So I'm deeply grateful for that.
Thank you. I cannot really say that all the beings are like this, but some beings are like this, that they cannot grow unless they allow themselves to be in their own way. No, so I know also now that not every being, but some beings are really like this. Many beings will be so much be benefited by following, because in their own way they are just not being benefited at all. You know, so even in the way of following, they can be benefited so much more. But some beings cannot be benefited in that way. They feel only suffocated. They feel like stuck, like just resisting, like inner fighting going on. You know, like this. So in that case, yes, it is necessary. I totally understand what you are saying. Actually, nobody can give you this freedom. Only you can. I feel like this. In my case, I felt like this. Nobody, it is true, nobody can give you this freedom to be yourself the way you want to be. You have to give this freedom to yourself and pay the cost, of course. People will not like you. That's why I love everybody's freedom. But I still don't like people when they are just imagining and thinking, no? Not really connecting in the satsang. No? So thank you for yeah.
Thank you, Ji. I also want to thank you for this very similar thing, but and experienced it in a contrasting way to Dharma, funnily enough. I'm so joyously grateful that I found, following my own way in my life, I found you, and my way was matching, or your way was matching. I don't know whose way anymore. It's just a matching way. And it's so beautiful, so beautiful. And the funny part is that it's contrasting from Dharma, because when I came, because of being a very free being, you had so much strictness, and which suited me. I used to tell people that I like Rajee because he's strict, and they're saying you like someone because they're strict, because in the manifest world I'm talking about teaching and parenting should give freedom. And I said, yeah, so it's, there were times when I would feel claustrophobic here. There were times, because that now I realize that's ego. It's not me feeling claustrophobic. I was free and you were opening something. This you were letting free the wellspring. And the ego was feeling claustrophobic. Now I understand this. So thank you so much, Ji.
I mean, everything that you said, it was not done intentionally from your side or from my side. I mean, it was the result of our combination, no? As it happened. Like, I never really am strict on anyone, really, at all. Like, if you really look deeply, I am the most soft-hearted being. Really. And if you don't agree, then you have to try. It's just that if I tell the truth directly, does it make me more disciplined or like this? No, not really. So, the, to be less strict means that I should allow you to speak the false and keep quiet and tell, okay, yeah, you are right. Why should I say you are right? You are wrong. You are not right. No. But that doesn't make me hard. It actually makes me more soft in a way, more loving, no, towards you, isn't it? So as you said, that is a way of ego, looking at it that I should be always regarded whatever I say to be like, yeah, you are right, Anna. You are very right, Anna. Why should I say like this when I see that it is not true? And how long should I say like this? You know, So we know this, no, that sometimes we have to speak the truth to save to save somebody. No? So life decides that sense of urgency is maintained by life. No, it's not me and you doing so much. No, the life brought you here, and I know that response, whatever came. No, it's all amazingly one actually. So you are good now. We are good. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajee. I have no as such question. It's more like a love and gratitude trying to correspond.
Thank you. Thank you. Very nice to have you here. It's actually very beautiful. This corresponding part is very beautiful when it works really. Then we don't really have so much of a confusion or a struggle or things like this. No, it's just something nicely happening together. No, it's not so much me and you or Yeah, thank you. Very very nice. I don't have this kind of confusions that this chair and this body or this name is something special than any one of you. No, there could be anybody on this chair. No, and still I will have that same clarity and joy of living truth. No, it's not the chair or the thing, name and the you know what I mean. It's something else. No? It's something else. The cost of knowing the truth is myself. Myself is a state or a experience for the self, the oneself. No, oneself is interested in having this experience called myself. No, within that many things happening. Without that, nothing. No, without that, nothing. Is there anything outside of myself? Happening, experienced, known, discovered? That which is outside of this myself is the self, no? Which is living everyone who is here right now. Which is living through everyone who is here right now. And making no difference. It's just not discriminating in any way at all. If we look at it through the mind, then we will feel differently. If we feel it in the heart, if we feel it in the heart, no? So the self is not really who is sitting on this chair. Self is who is sitting on each chair right now, no? That is my knowledge says that is the self. This is the self, no? But it is difficult to talk about through the language, no? because which is our dualistic language, no? Meaning where we have to use the word I and you when we are talking about two chairs. We have to use the word I and you. But we cannot say this. But it is true. This is sitting on these chairs. No? This is truth. No? And it is truth right now, actually. Right now it is being experienced. No? And all of our shortcomings, all of our sense of confusion, all of that is being attended and maintained by that oneself. Who are you? Who is troubled? Like I'm saying, you don't exist really. Who is troubled? A sense of trouble is there, not that there is someone who is actually there to attend it or who can do anything about it, except the self that is, who is already attending it in the best possible manner. So everything is being done in the best possible manner already. Whether today you felt sleep or you felt very nicely sitting, both. If you feel that Rajee knows more than you about truth, then Rajee is that part of you which knows more truth at the consciousness level. You are that part of Rajee which knows less about truth at the level of consciousness, no? Consciousness or mind, you can say, no? Where we record things, no? Beyond that, no recording, because beyond that, no time. No? Isn't it like this? So we are. It is important that this satsang is important, really, but not the way, not the personal way, not in the personal way. It is so very important. Satsang is so very important. It is the self helping the self, but not the personal way. Like there is not going to be a person one day who is going to take the credit that, hey, see, I helped you so much. No, it's not going to be happen like this. No, every day is like a complete in itself. Every meeting is complete in itself. Afterward, we will have to establish a new connection in a way with each other through the mind consciousness. That, hey, hello, how are you? Like this. There is no real connection after that of the self. In the mind, maybe. I'm just sharing some truth. I felt like this. Thank you. So I think it's a good time. We can end this meeting unless if somebody wants to say something.
Thank you so much for this sharing, which happening just now. I wanted to ask you to explore what is self-recognition means, because what you were sharing now, it's look like the one who is sitting on this chair realizing itself. That's kind of, I would call self.
Oh yes, yes. Actually, the self-recognition is like this. That there is a consciousness in the body, no, meaning the central, the one who lives. What we can call mind also, or like the one who lives through the body and mind and everything. This is consciousness, individual consciousness, no? So this individual consciousness is carrying the understanding that I am individual and separate. Separate means what? Separate from everything. Like this, it is living a very local version in a way. Like it is limited to the memories, even if memories of the past lives, no? And its own abilities within that. Because what is our ability? Let's say, like if I ask you, what can you do? How you will say? Either you will say, I don't know my ability in this direction, but I don't find myself limited in any way, So which means infinite possibilities. Mostly we kind of come from a background, like a memory. That No, not really. I can run a marathon like 100 kilometer, but 20 kilometer okay. Based on memory we are saying or no? So like this, we are living in a memory bubble of memory. The consciousness, when living in the memory bubble, this is where the progress takes place in a way. What is progress is just the change of conditioning producing different experiences. When any fundamental conditioning changes, the experience of life also changes. And who is enjoying it? Actually, the self only, through the consciousness. At some point, it gives up. Like I'm done with the experiencing. Like no newness being experienced now through experiencing. So it gives up. It wants something else. That is where the discovery or recognition of who we are happens. No? Who recognizes is the self, not the consciousness. But where the recognition happens is in the consciousness, not in the self. This is to be understood. Like consciousness is like a mirror in which the self looks at itself like, nice. I'm the same old but beautiful self. It says like this. That day the need of the consciousness is over in a way. Meaning self woke up. Self woke up is kind of a actual thing in a way. Like self knows itself separate from consciousness. Consciousness in this case is like a bubble of the universal consciousness, but it has a specific flavor and everything. Like it is an uh, drop, individual drop of the ocean of consciousness in a way, like this. And this is where the drop will merge in the ocean. Self does not merge in anything. There is only self. There is no ocean to the self. You know. So self does not merge in the ocean. Self also does not melt. No. Yeah. So like this. And as long as there is a desire in the self, not in the consciousness, as long as there is a desire in the self to taste, to experience, it will not let this bubble become so conscious that the experiencing looks foolish. No? Because experiencing is foolish in one sense to the self. Like what exactly you are experiencing? There is nothing there, no? Except your own imagination. The self is imagining and experiencing, for the self. In this light, I can speak like this. There is nothing there in the which can be experienced for the self. Self is only enjoying its own imagination. The dream of Brahma, no? This whole universe is, they say, a dream of Supreme Self, no? In that way. I think we are good then. Now you understand self-recognition.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And thank you that you make my view clean. Thank you.
Thank you. It's very good. So I don't see anything wrong in experiencing. But experiencing 10%, 90% imagining about experiencing is wasting time and life. No? And the self is going to continue like this for many lifetimes in this way. Because it will never get to actually experience. No? If we can actually experience, we can become free from most of the things that we want to experience or we have desire to experience. No? Most of the things. Probably all of them actually. Because we just want to deeply experience something. Experience once. Same. One time. Enough, no? Yeah. Because ultimately what is experiencing for the self is knowing itself in a certain way. No? Experiencing is one way. Seeing also. Self-recognition is another way of the self knowing itself or tasting itself. Whatever we can call it. No? Thank you. I think very good then. Thank you. So it's very good time. I was very, very happy to have you all online friends as usual and very happy to have all of you in person here after a long time actually. Thank you for joining. Thank you.